Awesome.
Good evening, everyone. Let's see. All right, there we go. So good evening, everyone. My name is Dakisha Williams, and we are here tonight to promote the Full Throttle Experience 2016. And I am so excited to be here with none other than Daniel Jervy, Rhonda, Britten, and Walter Bond. How exciting is that? Okay, so I gotta fill you in, right? Yes, I have the faculty members here. This is behind the scenes. So poor Dale, he is trying his best to get here and be with us tonight. Somehow his flight was delayed. There's been bad weather up and down. I think there's like Hurricane Michael somewhere out there. And so it's delaying his travel. He is leaving Dallas, I believe, leaving Dallas. So he's going to be joining us shortly. But you have none other than me to hang out with for the next hour or so. So I'm excited. And again, everyone's here. So we are going to continue the conversation out in Platinum Performance Network.com. It's PlatinumPerformanceNetwork.com. So for those of you all that are hanging out with us tonight, please let us know where you are from. If you could post your first name, last name, and the city where you're from, and a little bit about what you do. Keep it short and simple so that they know who's out there watching them tonight. All right. So again, this is Dakisha Williams for those that are just joining us, and we have three awesome speakers with us hanging out tonight, and they're going to tell you just a little bit high level about what it is that their level of expertise is and why you should be joining them and us at Full Throttle Experience. So first up is none other than Rhonda Britten. Now, Rhonda, Dale made sure that he told me that you have been to every single Full Throttle. You are a Full Throttle expert. So
I love Full Throttle. I love Full Throttle. It is amazing.
I haven't heard nothing but good things, exciting things about you and the fearless leader. So I am super excited because that is something that Dale has been talking about. If you haven't seen any of his broadcasts, his Facebook Live, Periscope, he's so funny because he's been Facebook Live every other day, Periscope every other day, trying to get the momentum going. And it's all about fear. So tell us, please, a little bit about your background, your experience. And
oh boy,
3 times on Oprah, and then I just heard you say Steve Harvey. Like, you're a celebrity. I got a celebrity back here with me today.
Well, the good news is that not only have I been on Steve Harvey and on Oprah, and first of all, excuse me, I lost my voice and I'm just getting it back. So I will have it fully available to me at Full Throttle. But if everyone could just send me some prayers and some love while I'm sharing as much as I can today with the voice that I have. So yeah, I've been on Oprah, I've been on Steve Harvey. But even more important than all of that is I've done over 600 episodes of reality television. I was the first life coach on TV in the world. I won an Emmy for it over there. Like, oh, wait, do you see my Emmy? Where's my Emmy?
I see it.
And, you know, I've had the good fortune to change lives on TV since wow, the first reality show of its kind, 2001. So I have done a lot of television, had my own radio show, blah, 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 4 books, blah, blah, blah. and really what that all amounts to is those are all vehicles for me to do the thing that I love the best, which is help people master fear. Because I believe that fear is the thing that stops all of us when it gets down to it. You know, yes, we need skills. Yes, we need tools. Yes, we need all those things. But most people don't learn a skill or don't go learn a new tool or don't get support or don't come to Full Throttle because they're scared of something and they don't even know it. So let me just ask if this sounds familiar. Do you ever feel like you don't have a right to the success you want? Or do you ever feel like you're not good enough? Or do you ever feel like you have a fear of rejection or fear of failure or fear of success? Well, those are the things that I'm going to be talking about at Full Throttle, Dakisha. That's what I'm going to talk about.
You know, it's funny that you say that because we've actually, you know, in our tours that we've done, we've actually experienced, and it's so funny, I've never heard people say that I'm afraid of success. Like, how in the world is that possible to be afraid of success? You would think that everyone would want to do well, but to be afraid of doing well, Rhonda.
Well, I can cure that today if you want me to, but I don't know if I should hold it back from full throttle, because fear of success is actually a lovely fear to have, right? Because if you think about it, well, I'm afraid to be successful implies that you believe you can be successful, right? It's an inherent, right? Inherent implied. So you actually believe that you're capable of being successful. So it's a really nice fear to have, right? Mm-hmm. But fear of success actually in my world and fearless living world is actually just a cover for a deeper fear. And I could reveal it today, or I could hold it back. What do you think, Dakisha? Should I don't know.
Go ahead and give it just a little bit.
Okay. So I'm going to start, one of the things that I'm going to do at Full Throttle is really help you understand how fear works, because I think that most people, use the feel the fear and do it anyway, or false evidence appearing real. And those are all really handy, but it actually doesn't explain how you experience fear. So let me just go ahead and give you a little solution to the fear of success. Now, go ahead and sit down, everybody, and hang on to your chair, because right in about like 30 seconds, you're going to be like, what? You're going to be like, what? I can't, what? So here it is. Fear of success is really fear of responsibility. Now, don't get, ouch. I know, but now, I know. But this is the thing. When people tell me they have a fear of success, and I tell them it's a fear of responsibility, the first thing I usually hear is, but I'm so responsible. Well, yes, you're responsible for AT&T, and you're responsible to the gas company, and you're responsible maybe to bring the casserole over at Christmas, but you are not being responsible to you and your dreams, the thing that's moving through you. You are not responsible. You're not being responsible for it. And to be responsible for it, you and I both know it's going to call more of you out. You have to become more of who you were meant to be. And so it's one of the reasons that, the first book I wrote, Fearless Living, it was scary. Don't get me wrong. I was scared to bejeebers. But the second book was even scarier, because you and everybody's heard this, right? The second book is harder because the second movie is harder, because you now have like, oh, I've had a little success. Can I do it again? Right. And so that fear of success, being fear of responsible, you don't want to be responsible for keeping it up. You think that you have to like keep up this 24/7 pace, or keep up being amazing. And you forget that you're human. And you think our fear tells us that we have to be amazing all the time in order to keep our success. And that's just not true. So this is some of the things that I'm going to be talking about: that fear of failure, fear of success, fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of change, all those lovely fears that are hidden underneath us. I don't want you to live by those anymore. I want you to be fearless.
Awesome. I love it. I'm excited because I know Lee Fuller, he talks about, oh my God, Rhonda. And so, I just don't think that people understand the impact of being in the room with you, Rhonda. Like, we can't emphasize enough that Full Throttle is not just another conference.
No, it's not. Yeah, no, it's not. And what I love about what De La Torre does is he really gets the visceral experience, because fear is a visceral emotion. And we don't take action on our dreams, not because we're intellectually deciding not to do it. It's because viscerally fear has us. So what I love about De La Torre is he thinks like me, in the sense of he wants to make the experience visceral, so that you actually have a true change, and it shifts your neurological pathways in your brain, neural pathways. So your brain actually changes, because every single day he has his experiential exercises, plus he has these amazing speakers who are dedicated to the same thing. So yeah, I say Full Throttle is not your normal conference at all. And you need to be there. If you're even thinking about coming, you better get your ticket and come, because you are going to be really bummed that you're not there. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say.
I don't think they understand. So I'm excited not to tell it all, right? But I hear this is like board-breaking experience.
And I did it really good, and I got pictures to prove it. but I got to tell you, there's more than that. The things that he brings to the stage and the speakers he brings to the stage, he really chooses his speakers wisely.
Yes, he does.
And so I think the whole time you're there, just from the minute you walk in to the minute you leave, you are literally being turned on, like parts of you are getting turned on. And, you know, I'm going to talk about fear and helping you kind of get underneath that. Excuse me, I'm about to cough. I'm going to take a drink.
No, that's fine. I understand that you've been under the weather. So listen, we are so glad that you took this time before you go get, you know, back under the covers. It's understood.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. So if you're even, if you truly want to come to a conference that you're going to be surrounded by people that really get what has to happen in order to attain success and in order to feel successful, not just get it through money, but actually feel successful, then absolutely Full Throttle is a place to go. And like I said just a minute ago, I was about to say, is that I'm going to help you understand how fear works, because how you think about fear in all those cliches that, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway, and false evidence, etc. Those are nice, but you and I both know that they don't necessarily help you when the chips are down. So I'm actually going to give you some tools to help you understand how fear works for you. And so you know how to be fearless, know anywhere you want to go, meet anyone you want to meet, and do anything you want to do.
I love it. All right, now she said you can do anything you want to do. So all right, so thank you so much, Rhonda. For those of you all that are watching, I'd like for you to do something a little bit different, and I'd love for you to post out in the group. For those of you all that are following, hi Stephanie Burrows, hi Regina, hi Lee Fuller. I want you to post out in the group one thing that you are mostly afraid of right now. Just post one thing if you can. I'd love for you to share, and Rhonda will be around just for a few more minutes, and she'll be able to, you know, to comment out in the group. But I want you to post one thing that you're afraid of out in platinumperformancenetwork.com. And that's the first step, is admitting that you have that fear. Is that right, Rhonda?
Yeah, and fear might be hiding from you, because it might look like procrastination, or it might look like perfectionism, or it might look like overwhelm or anxiety. So, you know, sometimes we don't know that we're afraid, like we don't use the words fear, but just start looking at where you're getting stuck, where you're not being the person you want to be or think you should be. That's where you're going to find your fear. If you're not acting in alignment with who you know you are inside, that you pray you are inside, that you know you're supposed to be, quote unquote, from your higher good inside, when you're not acting on those on your behalf like that, you know there's fear. So go ahead and write those things down where you're not being your best, you're letting yourself down, letting others down, maybe feel a little stuck, unsure which direction to take. Maybe you've got a big decision to make. Maybe you can't, maybe you're having a hard time trusting your decisions. That's a big one. We don't trust our decisions because fear is so tricky and it's so insidious. It tricks us. And so, is this what I'm supposed to do? Or is what, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do? I don't know. Is it fear? What am So go ahead and write anywhere that you feel stuck.
Luciana Turner says she's afraid of not meeting expectations.
Okay, well, you're going to love Full Throttle, because in Fearless Living, in my book, chapter 6, one of the things that I have is we talk about a lot about expectations, because my motto is no expectations. And instead, we're going to work on another tool when we're at Full Throttle. So you know how to shift those expectations into something that's powerful, positive, and empowering for you and everyone around you. So success isn't going to be based on fulfilling other people's expectations. It's going to be based on fulfilling who you're meant to be. So we're going to actually shift expectations. Sorry, I'm about to cough. So we're going to shift those expectations so that you actually can own it. So it's no longer an expectation, because you're right on. Expectations ultimately lead to disappointment. And when we have those expectations on ourselves, or we're looking at other people's expectations of us, yes, I get it. You're afraid to disappoint them. Absolutely. Because that's what's intrinsic in expectations. So I'm going to give you another way to do it at Full Throttle. So I got your back on that one.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Awesome. So some people are afraid to take the next step and actually invest in coming to Full Throttle. And some people are afraid to step out, especially for those that have never been there. They don't know what to expect.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating, because you know, so the way the brain works, and I'm just going to give just a quick little couple seconds, but you know, fear is run down here by our amygdala, and how we make decisions in fearlessness is up here in our frontal cortex. And you know, your fear of attending something that you don't know the results of, or that you don't have guaranteed results from because you can't trust yourself to actually get what you think you want, that's all fear-based. So whenever you make decisions based in fear, you're just going to keep getting more of the same. So you have to decide, and literally you have to decide when you're going to put fear aside. And again, when you're at full throttle, I'm actually going to give you a whole bunch of tools, but you actually have to decide to make yourself worth it. Not that you feel worthy, because you may not feel worthy. You may not feel worthy at all. You may not trust yourself that you're going to do good afterwards. Again, I don't want you to worry about any of that. That's irrelevant, because that's all about you projecting onto the unknown all your fears. But none of that is true. None of that is true. Why do people come back year after year after year? Because they're getting a shot. But more importantly than a shot, they're getting skills to actually do something. So if you're afraid to come to full throttle, you have to decide, is fear going to make your future for you? Is fear going to decide your future for you? Or are you going to decide your future for you? So if fear is going to decide your future for you, get off the phone right now. Quit talking to me right now. Get off right now, because we get it. You're too afraid. You don't want to do it. Right. But if you have a little inkling like, maybe I could, because let's face it, if you're still listening to me, you are compelled. If you are still listening to me, you are compelled. And if you are compelled, you know there's something here for you. So you have to decide, not let fear decide. You have to decide to put yourself into that risk. It feels like a risky situation, and invest in yourself. All I know is the bigger investments I've made in myself, the better my results. And that's happened over the last 22 years. So you got to do it, man. You got to do it.
You got to take the step.
You got to take the step. Because when are you going to do it? If you don't do it now, when? When's a better time? Next week? December 1st, my birthday, January 3rd. Well, you know what? Full throttle's once a year. Full throttle's once a year. So you don't do it now, you got to wait a whole year. Really? You got to wait a whole year? Really? I don't think so. No, no.
Nope. Rhonda says, don't wait till 2017. You have to be there at the end of this month. Oh my goodness, right. It's October.
That's right.
So yeah, so you have to meet us there. And for those of you all that are on the fence, we do have the opportunity for you to talk with one of our staff members at platinum1on1.com. And if you guys can post that out in the group, it's platinum1on1.com. So if you have any more questions about the full throttle experience, kind of what to expect, where it's going to be, you know, questions about the different levels, what the experiences are going to be like at those levels, we have our staff members waiting to have a conversation with you to help you through making that decision. And again, that's platinum1on1.com. That's platinum1on1.com. And before I let Rhonda go, I'm going to let her close out just a few more minutes, and then we'll say goodnight to Rhonda.
Well, I mean, if I could say one thing and one thing only, it's this, that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. And so if you really want to become the person you're born to be, and if you really want, you know that there's something burning inside of you, you know you have a yearning to express yourself more, or build a bigger business, or build a business, period, or to just to be more of yourself, then you have to take action. It's the only way. So confidence doesn't come first. Let me say this. Confidence does not come first. People say to me all the time, Rhonda, if I just had more confidence, I'd do it. And I say the same thing. Confidence is a result. You only get confidence by taking risks. Mm-hmm. So there is nothing wrong with you. It's just fear. And you get to decide if you're going to live inside your future and become who you're meant to be, or if you're going to keep looking at your past and go, but I can't count on myself. Well, you can't count on yourself unless you choose differently. But it's up to you. And you're deciding every moment of every day. So you get to choose now what your future looks like. So it's up to you. Nothing wrong with you. Just fear. Don't listen. Be fearless.
Be fearless. I love it. And the biggest takeaway from what I heard from Rhonda tonight was to take action. You actually have to make the decision. You have a choice. I love it. I love it. So you have to take action. You cannot expect any results without actually taking the next step and taking action.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate you jumping on and having a few words with our tribe. We again, I know Dell is going to be so sad that he missed you, but we do appreciate we appreciate your words this afternoon. So thank you so very much.
My pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Woo!